Good morning everybody and welcome back to I Loaf You. Today we are going to be making macarons for our last day of Flourless February. So it's most people's thought that macarons are a difficult thing to make. So today we are going to have a really easy recipe and I will show you step by step how to do it. And you can see that you can make them at home fairly easily. So we will hop right in and get started. Alright, so we have our whisk attachment on our mixer and we are going to add to that our egg whites and we are going to whip that up till they're nice and fluffy. So you can see here they are nice and fluffy. So we are going to now add our granulated sugar as well as our cream of tartar and meringue powder. And then we are going to just whip this up again. Nice and stiff and whipped up. So now we are going to get our dry ingredients ready to go in. We have our almond flour in our sifter here and we are going to add to that our powdered sugar. Now we just want to sift this all through and then we will get it added to our egg whites. Now that is strained, I am going to add a portion of it now before we start mixing. And then we will start to mix and I'll add a little bit. Now before we fully mix in our flour, our almond flour I should say, we are going to add any flavorings or colorings that you would like. I am going to be adding a butter vanilla flavoring. It makes sort of a cake batter flavored macaron. And now we are just going to get this completely mixed together. We are all mixed together. We are going to get our batter transferred into a piping bag so that we can get them on our trays. I'm not super coordinated with a piping bag. I have a trick for you. You can set it inside of a glass of some sort, something nice and tall. Just make sure that you have the opening all set here. And then you can just pour your batter in rather than trying to find someone to help you hold the bag, since this is a very loose batter to start with. That way you don't lose any and you don't make a mess everywhere. Now, the step that I'm gonna do next, you don't need to do. This is just how I like to decorate this specific flavor of macarons. So we take our liquid food coloring, and I just sort of make a couple little splatter paint spots on them. Now, if you have a bigger bottle of food coloring, you obviously would put it in a little dish, whether you have a washable dish or a disposable dish. It does not matter, but obviously with a gloved hand so that you don't make too much of a mess with your food coloring. Now that we have our macarons finished, I'm going to get these in the oven to bake. We'll start them out at about 10 minutes. Alright, so now we are going to make our filling for our macarons. In my mixer bowl, I have about a 1/4 cup of shortening and about a 1/4 cup of Marshmallow Fluff. We are going to start beating that, and we are going to add our powdered sugar as well as our flavoring. Since I'm making the cake batter macarons, I am going to add the butter vanilla that I use to flavor them with. Now to this, I'm going to add about a tablespoon or so of almond milk, just so that it gets to the right consistency. If it's still a little bit dry, you can add a little bit more. You can use a regular dairy milk if you are not someone that needs a lactose-free milk. But again, we're just going to mix this up and get it all combined. So now that our frosting is done, I just put it into a piping bag. I do recommend using a fresh marshmallow fluff. That way it doesn't get grainy or have lumps in it. So we just cut the tip of our pastry bag, and we are going to grab 1/2 of our macaron cookie. And you just want a light filling on there. And you want to find a top that is about the same size and just top it. There you have the finished macarons. We will get the rest of them done as well. Macarons in many different flavors and styles, and I will include a bunch of pictures here at the end of different types of macarons that I have made and how they came out. Each oven will vary how bakes them, and the type of flavoring you put in it will vary as well. Basically, what you are looking for is the cookie. With a little bit of a foot here, as you can see at the bottom of the cookie, with the filling, and it's crunchy on the outside and nice and soft in the middle. And it is a very good gluten-free treat.